Hello everyone, it is time for our monthly paper pumpkin video. So we are going to be making two of these lovely tags that go on these little boxes. I've already decided who I'm going to put some treats in and give it to. I've been doing PT for the last several weeks for my knees. Hey Marion! And so I'm going to put some candy in some of these and take them up to the PT ladies. So, if you are new to Paper Pumpkin, this is a kit that comes every month in a fun box. Sometimes it's a decorative box. Sometimes it's just, these are just the normal boxes. And it has everything you need to make usually cards, but like this month, every once in a while, and usually around Christmas, we have them, and maybe around Valentine's, we'll sometimes have little treat boxes, and that's what we've got this month. So this is going to make 4 of each of these designs, so 8 treat boxes total. So let's get started. Which one are we starting with? This one. So they have full color instructions. Let me make sure I get the right pile of goodies. There's all our goodies. This is what it's going to look like, and then it has this little box that you attach it to. So you can put some candy in there, a gift card would fit in there. And then you can write on the back of this if you want to. Or you could write on the back of the box too. So this is our first one. So our stamping, we're using Mossy Meadow. I usually use my big one. It comes with an ink spot. The only thing you might need to add to your kit to have on hand is a pair of scissors. So it comes with an ink spot. I just use my big ones because I have them. And let's see, we need a gift for you. And, oh, I forgot to put with love on my other one. Let me grab that stamp. I missed that when I was making mine. So we need the little with love. Let me grab, stop, a little block. Okay. And then Merry Christmas. That's what we need. And I'm going to grab my Stampin' Pierce mat. This just, anytime you're stamping with photopolymer, it does make it a little easier. So if you were confused by the pictures on the directions, you're like, well, where is this tag? It's the back side of that one. Oh, we need the wreath too. So we're going to stamp the gift for you. Hey, Betty. On the back of this one. Move those out of the way a little bit. And then, whoops, with love goes below that. And then turn it over. And we're going to stamp the wreath. And it's got kind of a bare side. And so they have that bare side kind of going, it doesn't have any leaves on it, to the lower right. There we go. And then our little label. We need Merry Christmas. All right, that's all our stamping for this tag. Now, excuse me. It took me a little bit to figure this out, and I actually watched the video. You have 2 wreaths, and it looks like they're putting the lighter side up, so it's going to go like this. And when I watched them, what they did is they took, and you're going to put mini dimensionals on this. And it's hard to tell which way they've got it going. I think kind of like this. And they put one here. And these get, I mean, they're going to show through when you put this on, but they get covered up for the most part when you put the other wreath on and then you put your sentiment on. All right, so they did this first. And you do want to make sure those dimensionals are staying there on your tag. And then this guy, we're going to put the adhesive on the dark side. And so they've got these glue dots. I like to use my Take Your Pick tool. So they've got one up here and one down here. And then carefully, because you've got a lot of fragile little leaves and vine here, take off this back. And then we're going to put it on here like this. All right, so now we have our two wreath pieces, and you can see the one we stamped peeking through. Now we have our Merry Christmas. We're going to put mini dimensionals on this, and what I learned is you want to put them a little bit towards the middle so that they're not going over these leaves that already have dimensionals. So the dimensionals will fit inside of that wreath area. So that goes across there. And then we are going to put, I'll go ahead and do this, excuse me, a mini dimensional in the middle of this guy. All right, but before we put him on, they tied these two together. Let me find my twine. Whoops, because I pre-cut it. Where did it go? I don't know. It's disappeared on me because that's for that one. All right. It looks like linen thread, so I'll just cut some linen thread. I'm sure mine will turn up somewhere. As soon as I do this, then it'll turn up. So you're doing 12 inches. And tie it through both of these. Whoops. And they just tie it in a big bow. And luckily, linen thread like this stays. You could tie a knot first, but it stays pretty well. Just tie a big bow. And it's kind of all frilly. And now we can add our bow up here at the top. So they kind of do it like that, and then they tuck this behind, like that. Now you have some gems. So they put 3 gems on here. And one up here. And that is our first tag. Isn't that cute? Very cute. All right. Second tag. We're going to make both tags, and then we will put our boxes together. See, this one has its twine with it. I don't know what happened to the other twine. All right, so let's turn this over. What are we stamping on this one? This one, we're again stamping on the back of this tag. So on this piece, so on the front's red, on the back is that. Okay. These two that are left. We're going to need ink. So let's stamp our big one first, sending a little Christmas cheer just in the middle of this. And then from our home to yours goes under that. There we go. That's all our stamping on that one. All right, let's turn this over to the other side. Now let's look at, and I learned something else in doing this. So you have, when you turn that one over, it's green. When you turn this one over, it's basic beige. And we're going to use more of our mini glue dots. Got dimensional backings trying to come back to play. All right, so gonna put one there. I'm trying to remember, I think it's this one that ends up being outside your tag. So I'm just putting these where they have them on the directions. All right, now this one I'm not going to do every single one, because I found that if I put them here and here, that those are outside my tag, and then I have adhesive sticking out. So we'll put one there, and they have one here, and that should be fine. But then I'm going to put another one, whoops, maybe, in the middle, not out on these ones. Okay. So this is our green one, right? Yes. So I'm going to adhere this to the top of the basic beige one first. Again, be careful when you're popping these backs off, because these are delicate little leaves. You don't want to tear them up. Whoop. Come here. So those little dots are going to line up, and then it just kind of flows down. All right. Now we can put this on our red. Maybe it was, nope, it was the back of the cream one, I think. Whoa. Just about tore that one right off. Come here. One more. There we go. All right, then this. And I just, here, you can lay this on top if you want. Because I just judged how far down to put it based on where it went. So it just goes a little bit past. Like that, kind of. And so if I had one out here, it didn't do it on this side, but on this side, if I'd put one out there like they told me, it would be sticking to everything. All right, let's tie our ribbon again. Tie these two together. Where's the other hole? There it is. Let's try and make sure they're kind of even when you start. And just tie your bow. And now we're ready to put this ribbon on again. So grab our mini dimensionals. One in the very center. And it goes up there like that again. And let's grab our red jewels. And again, we'll take 3 of these. Let's see. So they've got a couple on this side. And then 1 up here. And you still have a bunch of jewels left. So you can use those on your bonus project if you want. Now this is what confused me. I'm like, why are we putting dimensionals on there? Well, you will see why. All right, so we have our 2 tags now ready to go. There's our other one. Now we need our little boxes. These are super cute. You'll want a bone folder so that you can get these really burnished well. So your box will fold up easily. And these are the easiest kinds of boxes because you don't need any adhesive. They just fold together. I'm thinking some Ghirardelli chocolates would work in here. Just keep slipping on me. Maybe if I tuck it under there, it won't. Okay. When you have it like this, this is going to be your bottom where these extra little tabs are. So you're going to fold it up so that those tabs are down like that. And then you're just going to fold this over the top of it. So, and then there's a little slit. See, there's a little notch right there that goes down into a little slit. So then you do the same thing on the other side. And those tuck in. Whoops. And there is your box. All right, we got one more to do. I guess I could have burnished one of these ahead of time. Oh well, I didn't think of it. It doesn't take that long. All right. So fold these up so your tabs go in, those little tabs. Push that down so it goes in that little slot. Same thing on the other side. And tuck your little flaps in. And there you go. All right, now last thing we need to do is put our tags on here. So when I first did this, I'm like, why are we stamping on this piece and then putting this behind it? They can't even see it. Well, now I know why, because you're adhering this piece to your box. So they need to be able to slide the tag out to see if you've written something on it. So you want to be sure you don't want to go all the way to the top or the bottom. So I stay within that tag. Let's go ahead and do this one, because you can kind of see where it is. So 3 down the middle of this one. There we go. And then you just put them on your box. And the nice thing about it is they can open the box and not mess up the tag. Let's get this one on. There you go. You can put some little candy in there, a gift card. And you are all set. Aren't those cute? I like them. All right. So I decided for the bonus projects to keep in the same theme of doing gift tags. Now, I don't have boxes for you, but you could put these on just regular gifts. So let me show you what I made, and then I'll demonstrate it. Okay. So these are the 2 tags that I made, and they are using the dies that go with this paper pumpkin. So every 3 months, there's a set of dies that goes with paper pumpkin, and it lasts for 3 months. So this is the set. This may be October, November, December. I can't remember for sure when it started. But that's what I used to make these. So let me show you how I did this. Now I had like 4 or 5 of these little tags left over. So that's what I used to do the sentiment. But I also stamped a wreath. Let's bring this back and our wreath. Whoops. Hang on, there's a hair stuck under this. There we go. I didn't want to leave it there because then it might make a line in our stamping. All right, so we are going to stamp this wreath. Again, Mossy Meadow. And we're going to stamp it once and then turn it and stamp it again. So you have some depth there. And then on our little tag, come here, we'll stamp Merry Christmas again. All right. And our second tag doesn't even have any stamping on it. So you need to punch a hole. Now, if you want, I didn't do it on this one, but you could certainly take a pencil and draw a little circle. You know, line this up the way you want it on there. Draw a little circle. Then you know exactly where to punch. And I don't know what size this is. Maybe eighth of an inch. Oh, I probably need to go down a little farther than that. So punch that. And then I cut a banner in the bottom of it. These are my sticky scissors, but they're what was handy. So these are the scissors I use whenever I'm cutting something sticky. So my good snips don't get all sticky. There we go. All right, and then we are ready. That's not the right one. Oh, hey, I found my other. No, maybe not. I don't know. I found 2. Okay. Now you can tie these together. just like we did on the cards in the kit. I think I forgot to pre-tie a bow, so I'll have to grab that ribbon and get it. I have tied bows for you for this tag, so you will get a pre-tied basic beige bow. Hopefully it will stay tied through the mail. All right, and then these guys, I just took a little liquid glue and just on those first leaves. And you're going to put the sentiment over the ends of those, so don't worry about that. This is a new bottle of glue, so I have to be careful. All right. Then we need our little dimensionals. I still have some left. You don't want to put them too close to the end because otherwise it will go off the edge of the card. That goes across there. Hopefully I didn't put it too far out. Nope. Oh, that one's close. And then I just use whatever embellishments you have. I have these cherry cobbler and pearl adhesive backed berries. They were from last year at least. Or you can use your leftover. You can use these. Let's use these. You have these left over. No, I'm going to use these. It doesn't matter. Use whatever you want. Whatever you have. So I'm just going to put 3 of these on again. And that is your first little tag. Now, you can either write on the back of this, or you can put a little piece of white or basic beige cardstock on the back of that. Okay. I forgot to remind you, somebody will get these already made. So I demonstrate with one of your kits, and then I just kind of mix them all up so I never know who's going to get the already made ones. All right, and then our other tag is even simpler. And I did use, this was actually part of a fall set, gathering leaves. But to me, it looked like these leaves a little bit, so that's why I used it. All right, again, I'm going to figure out where I want my hole. It's easier to see on this paper. Punch it. Did I V the other? Yeah, I did. So I need to V this one. Where are my scissors? Here they are. So I just cut in the middle and then cut from each corner. There we go. And then I'm going to put these little branches on this. Again, a little bit of liquid glue. Just on that bottom set of branches is what I did. Hold it for just a minute so it can get set. Then the other one. All right. Then your joy. Going to use your little mini dimensionals again, and I put one where the J and the O meet up and where the O and the Y meet up. And I just tried to line this up so that the bottom of the O kind of hid where those, that dimensionals got a little bit low. I can see it a little bit. There we go. All right, so as I was saying, I try and line the bottom of the O up with where those are meeting. Then you don't see that, where those two leaves come together. And then, see if this is long enough. This one I did a little differently. So I put it through. Let's see if the other end is easier to thread through. Maybe. And then this time I tied a knot in the top of it. Or just tied it like this. There you go. And this guy, I used the clear ones of these. And there you go. There's your other. So now you're going to have 10 tags. So we made these 2 bonus tags, and these 2 are what were in the kit. Whoops. And if you're coming to card class Thursday, I would just give you your kits for these on Thursday rather than putting them in the mail, because you probably wouldn't get them before Thursday anyway. So you'll get them sooner. All right, that is it. This one probably wasn't as long because we just had a couple of things to do instead of 3 cards. But thank you so much for joining me. I will load this up on YouTube, so in case you weren't able to watch it live here on Facebook, it will still be available on YouTube. All right, thank you so much. I will be doing a Facebook Live on Thursday. This is a class. So my online class, I think I told you last time I did a Facebook Live that I ended up not being able to do a full class every week. That just ended up being too much. So the second Thursday of the month is when I'll do it as a class. And this is one of the cards we'll be doing Thursday. And what that means is, by it being a class, is it just means that if you get, and actually it's 4 cards, I need to update that. You get the card kit, all the paper to make the card. You would have to have the stamps if free with a $50 order, and then you would get the 4 card kit and a free embellishment with a $75 order, and the orders have to be in by the following Monday. So that will be this, no, that's not this Thursday. That's next Thursday. I'm sorry, I'm a week ahead. Never mind, we're not making this Thursday. I tried to get stuff ready ahead of time. Actually, that was a team meeting class, and then we ended up not having a team meeting, so I thought, well, I'll just save it for Facebook Live. So no, I don't know what we're doing this Thursday yet. Strike that. I'm still trying to get back on track after Thanksgiving and having company and everything. So we'll make something fun this Thursday. All right, I will see you Thursday. Bye.